Hey guys, welcome back to what has become day 2 of a very long video. So basically the problem I've ran into is the backseat cover. The X-type backseat cover is actually quite a bit larger, deeper anyway, than the Mondeo. So what I've had to do is come up with a plan to attach it along the top somewhere. Now my initial thought was to put some sort of bar or flat bar or something like that along the top, but then I thought to myself, wait a moment, it's already got that piece built into the wireframe from the X-Type. So what I've done is I have cut a section out. Obviously I had to narrow it down a little bit, but this is what I've come up with, and I have basically screwed it across the back of the Mondeo backrest. So, yeah, that's where I've gotten to at this point. Obviously, this is a photograph. I forgot to turn the camera on this morning. You know, I did the intro and I was just eager to get on with it because this has been a very, very long project, and simply set the camera up and forgot to turn it on. So, yeah, we've got a photograph. Anyway, I'm going to go grab something to eat because I've been out here since it was about 6 this morning and it's now nearing lunchtime, and then we will get back to it. So, see you soon. Okay, so I now have these brackets in, but what I'm finding is even though I've got rubber grommets to space it off the uh, base, uh, they are still pulling a little too tight. So what I'm going to do is I've taken these basically insulated staples, usually used for holding household electrical wiring, and I'm going to slip them under the grommets, and all I need is about 1/8 of an inch. I don't need a lot of space under there, so I'm going to get to that now and I'll be back in a moment. Well, there we go. That is going to work nicely. Just enough space under there to get the plastic retainer, and yeah, so I'm going to flip this over and I'm going to start putting the covering on. So yeah, let's fingers crossed this works. So again, I will be back soon. Well, first off, I've moved to the ground because just working on the garbage cans, this thing is heavy, and yeah, I was starting to suffer. So, quick update on what I've done. First of all, I've removed the plastic spaces. They didn't really work. So what I have done now is made cutouts where I can access the bolts. And what this allows me to do is release some pressure on the actual bar, and just basically slide these under, then just tighten them back down again. Obviously that's to be trimmed off yet. I haven't got this one on yet because this is the seat belt, and I do actually need to cut a hole in the leather, and I don't want to do that until I'm absolutely 100% happy with the fit. So what I'm going to do next is flip it over and just see how the front lines up, how it actually looks against the foam, and then I'm going to attempt to fit it to the bottom. Then at that point I'll go along and I will cut the holes. I think what I will do though is I will slip the headrest plastic runners. I'm not going to clip them right into place, but I think I will just push them in just so that it kind of aligns the leather up. So yeah, that's where things are right now. Well, took a bit of brute forcing, but I have gotten the clips, the whatever you want to call them, on the bottom of the leather cover. I have got them to go around, and they are clipping on quite nicely there. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to flip it around and just kind of even everything out on the front, get the leather looking as good as possible, and then yeah, the big one, I've just got to then start cutting the holes along the top for the actual seat release, and the two seat release levers and the seat belt. So wish me luck. This is the area where I could really screw it up if I get it wrong. So yeah, I'm going to put the camera down and I'm really going to take my time with this. So before I start cutting and potentially ruining it, that's where the leather is. Obviously there are some creases in it, that's what I'm going to straighten out before I set to it with the craft knife. But yeah, it's you know what, I'll get there. It may not be, you know, factory perfect, but I think it's going to look okay. And like I said in an earlier part of this, or it may have actually been when I was doing the front seats, I don't remember now, but what I may do is, once we're out of lockdown, I might just go looking for a proper split rear backrest. So anyway, camera back down and let's get moving forward. Well, there we go, point of no return. It's all the cuts in the leather. So what I need to do now is release it from the bottom again, and then yeah, feed everything through and hope for the best. So what I've done is I've actually cut short, so I can cut a little bit more if necessary. So right, let's get this bottom released and then we will see how it turns out. Okay, well, there we have it. Everything is cut and now in place. Now I've got to restretch the leather, get the bottom connected back up, and it's just the sides and the armrest in the middle. I'm happy with it, you know. What can I say? I'm by no means an upholstery expert, and you know, just doing the best that I can with what I've got. So, you know, like I say, overall I'm happy with it. So anyway, let's get on, get this bottom reconnected, and then see what it looks like and start figuring out the sides from there. And there we have it. Few areas I still need to stretch out, but yeah, not bad at all. I'm not sure what to do next. I think I will concentrate, get that centre section as straight as possible before I then work out to the ends. Yeah. One thing I wasn't sure about at the beginning, but I actually like the black plastic. I don't know, I just like it. So yeah, not a lot more to say. Okay, so I have come up with a plan. So these are the plastic retainers that hold the leather on to the original X-type metal frame. Basically what I've come up with is I'll trim this edge off, which leaves us a piece like this. Just little, I don't know how well you can see that, but it's basically the plastic channel, but it leaves the stitched edge on the seat itself. Now I've got a piece here that you can see better. There's the plastic channel there, and I basically trim it along there so this stitched piece remains. Now what I've done is stretched it over and then tuck it into the channel that is on the backrest of the Mondeo. So what I'm going to do is these pieces that have been trimmed off I will then take, and then they will go over, and I will tap them down this edge, which will tidy the edge up and it'll help retain these. Now at the top and the bottom, what I'm basically doing here is I've just neatly folded everything over, and I've glued it in there, and when I'm finished I'm going to glue it just there. Now this is hidden when the seat is up, and when it's down, well, you know, nobody's going to be back there anyway. So, and at the rear I'm in the process of doing something similar. Now these two seams here, I've pulled them together and I'm just putting some metal tabs on, and then I'm going to figure out how to fold this and get it tucked in and glued, and then I will cut the ring there for the actual seat mount, and that's it. I will do the same on the other side and we will take it from there. Also going to try and this piece here, bring him up and just, you know, just tuck him in, tidy him up, and that hopefully will be that. Still got the actual armrest to sort out, and the interior part of that, when the armrest's pulled down, there's actually a piece that goes in there. I've still got that to figure out, but well, it's getting there. I mean, it's a slow process. I didn't expect it to be quick, and you know, it is what it is. So I'll get this side finished and I will then get on with the other side. Oh, before I forget, what I'm also going to do is I'm going this center section here, which is going to be exposed. I'm going to cut a piece out of the old backrest, which will go down there, and then I will use this actual trim that's sewn into this, and then I'll secure it down there with that plastic trim, and that should cover that up. I may put some spots of glue on that also, just to hold it in, because you know, that's how I roll. Anyway, be back soon. And there we have it. I know it's not perfect, you know, but it'll work for me. And so yeah, I will get the hinge put on this side and then move to the other, and then basically there I'll get it in, then I'll figure out the actual armrest. So once again, I'll be back. Okay, so I've moved the camera over to this side. Hopefully you can see a little bit better what I'm attempting to do here. So what I did on the other side was just bring these two pieces together and just clip them there and there. So sort of size out a couple of clips again. Nothing more than that. Trying to bend these points together a little bit so that they at least get more of a grip. And of course, it slips. And I'll do another just for good measure. Okay, so next step is to figure this out here. I could actually do it on the other side, but I put a clip there, couldn't I? Yeah, I could get a clip right there. Yeah, I'll try that. Do I glue it first or do I clip it first? I'll put the clip on first. Quite funny. One aspect of working at the yard is that it's in the middle of nowhere and there's nobody around. So sitting here talking to the camera is okay, but here at home, people walking by, you can see them, they look down the driveway and it's like, who the hell is he talking to? Yeah, well. That actually works rather well. I thought I'd just tuck in there. No, really not. Oh, come on, we'll get one through the form. Aha. I'll get one through. Actually, I'll get one through here. Right, so okay, it seemed like a good idea, but yeah, I'll get the pliers into there. What will be perfect for this will be some zip ties, but as with everything else, they're over at the shop. Ow. That's the sharp end. just go like that. And just squeeze this together. Now. Just have a hold of it there. Get some glue on there and just trim this off. Glue yourself to it, John. Holding. Yes, we are. There we go. And what we've got to do is drill the hole, cut the hole for the bracket. Now I will be back because I've got to go into the plastic spacer goes on there. I've got to go and find it. Okay, so here I am back with one plastic spacer and these. First things first, the old seat cover. Now it has one of these channel things right in the middle, so I'm going to trim this off. To one side, and then that's the other one. So right at the top, and I don't know if you can see that, but there is a little lip. What I'm doing is putting that lip on the inside of the channel so it grips. Just stick it on there and just tap it down, and same with this, just put it right up to there, and just and last but not least, this little short one, just put it right there. And if I can get one at the top here, I don't think so. No, it doesn't matter. Right, and that's it. Oh, wait a minute. Right, now we've just got to cut the hole for the end. There, and that goes on that way. Maybe. And the hinge goes on like that. There we go. And that is that. Right, let's get this centre section here cleared up. So, plan for this. Now, this is the original cover from the Mondeo over, and yeah, this basically kind of went into that channel there. So, quite simply, all I'm going to do is just cut a section out of this and just try and fit it into there, see what happens. So yeah, let's just get on with it and see where we go, see where it lands. Well, basically it'll look something like that, hopefully. It'll go down there, and it'll go there, and that'll just cover there. So, unless it'll go in that way. And it does, nicely. Well, that's a hot. That actually tucks in there quite nicely. Huh! Who'd have guessed? So, next step is to, let's see. I want the other cover because I want to use the same piece. So, that's that one there. Yep, that's the one there, right. So, this one I'm going to do a little differently though. Because I don't need all the cloth, all I'm going to do is just slit it right up the edge there. And this will basically just fold over there. The idea is it'll just pop into there. Let's just take quite a bit of cloth off there, so let me see, what have I got? Okay, so I'm back. What I'm going to do is just and obviously we can't see that, but it's close enough. Let's just take it out of there. Now we'll just carefully and we'll just trim straight at the top. Oh, how am I going to do this? This goes like that. So that will go something like that. It's maybe more difficult than I thought, but well, whatever. Let's just give it a go. Well, you get the idea anyway. Okay. No, it doesn't work, is it? Alright, let's see if that's a little bit. I think it's going to work. So, let's just keep pushing him in and then around there. So, okay, so let's try it. This into there. Ah, can it get any darker here? There. Now, this bit at the bottom's where it's going to get a little tricky, I think, because it's got a nice bend to it, and I've got to trim these off, so this, cut that off, cut that there nicely, and again about there. So, let's see if we can get this to work. I would say that's a success. Yeah, cool. Right, well, that is, as they say, is that. I'm going to have 5 minutes and then I'm going to get this in and see if it works. So, once again, I will be back. Well, there she is. She's in. I've just got the seat belt to put in there, but yeah, Yeah, I mean it's not great, I'll be the first one to admit that, but you know, it's gone into the best of my abilities, and I've got a few other bits to hook up, and that should pull a few more of the wrinkles out of it. So, you know, I am, you know, basically happy. What can I say? Seatbelt, the seat mechanism does work, so it does fold forward, and yeah, that's it. So I'm going to get the armrest in now, get this section in the middle there tidied up, and one interesting thing I did discover though while scrambling around in here, I did manage to pull the carpet back, and the mounting points for the sedan seat are there, so I'm just going to use them. I don't really... No, all the time I've owned this car, I've never actually had a need to fold the seat up, so I don't see that changing. The seat folds almost perfectly flat anyway, so anyway, I'm going to get on with this armrest, get this centre section done, get that other seat belt mount in, and then headrests on, and we're finished. Yeah, and it should be finished this probably by lunchtime. It's about it's about 9:30 at the moment. Should easily be finished this by lunchtime. Get the door cards on, they're sitting there ready. They only take 10 minutes each, if that, and yeah, that's it. Right, so let's get on with it. So there we have it. That's the Mondeo with X-type seats. Unfortunately, I just wasn't able to make the door cards work. I am keeping them. I don't know. It's something I want to have a go when the weather is a little bit nicer and I've got more time on my hands, and I can just sit and just mess about with just the door card on its own. But yeah, so technically it is just the X-type seats. Carpet would have fit. That's the one thing. I have had the carpet laid out next to the car, and other than that section that I mentioned in an earlier video where it's got a larger piece of foam in it, the carpet's identical. So if I wanted to do that, then that would have been an option. The other thing that, to be honest, I'd love to have had a go at putting the X-type dashboard in, because a lot of what I saw when I was pulling it, all of the interior out, it looked very similar under there. So, you know, it may have went in with, you know, not too much fuss, but again, you know, that's a huge project, that, so didn't want to get into all of that. Plus this is my daily driver, so you know, I don't want it off the road too long. So that's it on my series of videos on fitting the X-type seats into a Mondeo. A lot of traffic there at the moment. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed it. It has been an interesting project. I have had a lot of fun with this, and you know, if you have the chance of an X-type interior or X-type seats, give it a go. It's not as difficult as I first thought it would be, especially if you've got the sedan or you can get a hold of a estate back seat. We are now in the middle of December. We're still on another lockdown, so I'm not getting back to the Wolseley now until after the new year. I think that's just the way it's going to be. So that's probably going to be it. I've got one more project that I've just completed actually, which started off as a review but turned into something bigger. So that's coming shortly. I'll probably have this video up first, get the end of this series done, and then I will put that up probably closer to Christmas. And yeah, So, as I always say, like, subscribe, come back and see me sometime.